Thank you very much, Madhur, for a wonderful introduction. I was so impressed with the transformation of Dr. Vineet and the way Dr. Prashant has coached. Thank you very much for sharing your information because it has inspired a lot of people. So I think, all of you are awake now, right? So if you are just awake, just type it in the chat box that you are awake because uh, actually I'll be talking about sleep, but I want you to be awake so that you can understand about sleep, right? So, good evening, everyone. Today, I'll be covering a little bit. We are running short of time quickly about the importance of sleep, how it affects our, physical health, emotional health. But more importantly, what I'll cover is for busy people what to do directly. So it's a very simple presentation. I don't want to keep it complicated. It will give direct solution if you have a particular condition, what you need to do, right? Hope all of you are ready. Let me just share my presentation. Can somebody confirm if my presentation is visible? Wonderful. Okay. So I'll be covering mainly for busy people how to master their sleep. Okay. So first we should understand how sleep affects, because if we don't know the impact of it, then we don't practice it, right? Sleep affects every aspect of your life, not just physical. If you consider physical, if you're having some hormonal imbalance, if you're having obesity, if you're having insulin resistance, which is diabetes, and low immunity, and then if you have some pains in the body, all these things are getting affected by sleep. And more importantly, it affects mental health disorders, right? So recently I was giving a talk in one of the corporate and I was telling, if you don't sleep for 7 hours daily, when you cross 60 years, you will forget your spouse. And some of the guys were very happy. I said, actually, you cannot be happy about it because after 60 years, spouses connect to each other better, right? So you cannot forget them. So actually, this is happening. A lot of people during their last 5 years or 10 years of their life, they are facing this issue called dementia, where they forget, the memory loss happens. So this is the statistics. I want to just quickly go through it without taking much time. See, the sleep, cardiovascular disease increases by 48%. Type 2 diabetes, 30%. Mental health issues, almost 35 to 45% of the adults globally. And immunity decreases by 3x. Obesity increases by 55%. Accidents are increasing by 20%. Reduced life expectancy, 12 to 13% rise, higher risk. Cancer, 10 to 20%. I feel this is even more. And with respect to weight gain, because a lot of you want to have a healthy weight, right? See, what happens is when you have a lack of sleep, this hormone called ghrelin hormone, it increases. It's a hunger hormone. When it increases, there is another hormone which gives the feeling of fullness, that is leptin hormone. It decreases. So when you feel that you are not full, you end up eating more. So there is a survey which says almost people end up eating 1,000 calories more when they are not sleeping well. That's how you end up eating a lot of junk food. What are the root causes of sleep issues? This is the root cause. Most of the time, you are operating in the parasympathetic nervous system. Like there is a invisible tiger always. This tiger can be your boss, your spouse, lot of activities which you are not completed, right? The fear, the anxiety from the future, or the fear from the past, or you are going through so many negative news on the social media, so many things, right? Your mind is always busy, very active. It is in the fight or flight mode. So you are having 100% alertness. Actually, what we are supposed to do is we have to align our body to something called a circadian rhythm or sleep wake up cycle. So if you look at the right side, at around 10 p.m., your melatonin hormone, which indicates you should sleep, rises up. Then what will you do? You open a mobile. So that suppresses the melatonin hormone. So you don't get sleep immediately. During the daytime, in the morning, melatonin hormone decreases, waking you up, and the cortisol hormone improves. So the left one is called as sun cycle, the right one is called as moon cycle, right? So this has to be in balance. Then only we will be able to sleep well. So now let us understand this very importantly. What happens during sleep? So categorically, we have three main categories. One is light sleep, which is N1 and N2 broadly. Then we have deep sleep. Then we have vivid dreaming. In the deep sleep, that is where the maximum recovery happens. In the vivid dreaming, creative things happen, which we also call it as REM, rapid eye movement sleep. So we'll understand this little bit. It is little complicated, but I'll try to make it simple. So we have these 4 stages, you can say N1, N2, then N3, then REM. So if you look at upwards vertically, right? When you fall asleep, this is the window, this is the time window, right? And then you go to stage 1, light sleep. Then you go to stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. So I'll cover few things that are important. Stage 4 is NREM, non-rapid eye movement sleep. So during this NREM stage 3 to stage 4, we call it as delta stage. That is where your blood pressure goes down, your muscle relaxes, muscle recovery happens, bones become stronger, a lot of hormones get secreted to heal your body, heal your organs. So this NREM stage 3 to stage 4, this is very, very critical. You cannot miss this. If you feel very fresh in the morning, that means you had good NREM sleep. Then another important thing is REM, rapid eye movement sleep. What is this? Have you seen sometimes when you are having a lot of dreams, you feel like there is something in front of you. A vehicle is coming or a snake is there. You feel like opening the eyes, but you can't open. So that is the nature's way of designing your body. Because if you, based on the dreams, if you start acting, you might just suddenly rush out of your bed and eat something, right? So rapid eye movement, it is like your body and mind is as active like the daytime, but you are numb. You cannot walk around, right? Another important thing that happens during this REM stage is memory consolidation. Emotion and emotional feelings gets consolidated. It gets processed and it is stored for the future use. So later, all this memory that is stored, right, it will come to use. Important thing that you have to observe. You observe the REM. See, 0 to 1 hour, during this time, the duration is less. As you move towards the early morning, right, 3, 4 p.m. like that, 3, 4 a.m., REM is longer, right? That is where you get maximum dreams. So now all these stages you have to go through. So that means stage 1 to stage 4, right? Like that, you will have 4 to 5 cycles. So in 0 to 8 hours duration. So all the things, especially NREM and REM stages are very, very important. This is where maximum healing happens. So now tell me, answer this question. Sleeping for 7 hours is good. If you sleep between 1 to 7 or 1 to 8 a.m., is that good? Will that serve the purpose of good quality sleep? Can you just type it in the chat box? Why? The reason is you are missing some of these cycles, right? If you are sleeping at 1 to 7, then you are missing some of these, deep sleep and REM cycles. Or sometimes you sleep at 1 and get up at 5 itself. So that means maybe one complete cycle you might be missing. That means the memory consolidation is not happening properly. That is why if you are not sleeping properly today, at least for 7 hours, good quality sleep, when you cross 60, 70, that memory issue comes into the picture. Dementia comes into the picture. So it is very important to fulfill this criteria. That's why either you should sleep by 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. maximum. 11 to 4 is very, very critical stage. You cannot miss this. Of course, 9 to 4 is the ideal one. I am telling from the context of busy people. Now, what are some of the habits that you need to implement? Actually, it is not just before going to bed. You should implement from the time you wake up, because you understood the circadian rhythm, sun and moon cycle. So it is 24-hour natural cycle, right? When you walk in the morning, in the early morning sun, or do exercise, that will set your circadian rhythm, right? It will make sure that the melatonin hormone releases perfectly in the evening if you do, if you walk or get exposure to the sun in the morning. So this is very important. Then no caffeine after 3 p.m. because if you take caffeine at 3 p.m. also, after 8 hours, half of the caffeine is still left in the body. That will affect your sleep. Digital detox 1 hour before food. No mobile or social media 1 hour before food. Keep the room dark because that will give you deep sleep. Keep the bed clean because it's all about energy. If you want, you can take warm shower in the evening. Actually, it should be ulta like what we are doing. Morning, you should take cold water. Evening, you should take warm water. That will help you sleep better. So one of the good habit that you can develop instead of watching mobile is reading a book. So now the question is meditation equal to sleep? So I told in the morning, in the earlier slide that, NREM stage, right? That is the deep stage, that is delta stage. So what happens actually in the meditation is, normally we are in this beta stage, where the frequency is 14 to 30 hertz. When you move towards theta or delta, that is where the deep sleep happens, deep rest happens. And through some of the meditations, you can get into these kind of stages where you get a similar effect. But meditation is not a replacement for sleep, but it will definitely help you to, 80 to 90%. Now, coming to the, direct solutions. So if some of you are having a disturbed sleep, right? You sleep in time, but you don't sleep properly. Then I want you to practice these two breathing techniques. No matter what time you sleep, just before sleeping on the bed, you should practice these two breathing techniques. First is Brahmari Pranayam, B breathing. So how does it work? I'll just show you. Maybe I'll not be able to make you practice. You have to close your ears, inhale through the nose, and while exhaling, you have to make this humming bee sound like this. Makar. The science behind this is, if you consider Om, it has A, U, M. When you utter A, it comes from the navel. It relaxes the lower part of the body. When you utter U, it comes from the chest. It relaxes the middle part of the body. When you utter M, it relaxes the upper part of the body. Right? So that is why it is very, very critical. It will help you move from sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic nervous system immediately. So this you have to do 7 rounds. Then 4-7-8 breathing. You have to inhale through the nose for 4 counts, hold the breath for 7 counts, and exhale through the mouth slowly, just like when you put a kind of, very narrowly, right? So you have to exhale through the mouth for 8 counts, 4-7-8. So do both of these 7 rounds. It will take 3 to 4 minutes. I will tell you, if you practice this today, you will sleep better today itself. Tomorrow morning, you should send it to your coach. So if you are not able to sleep as soon as you go to the bed, you have to sleep on your right side, close the right nostril, inhale and exhale through the left 21 times. In 1 minute, you will be able to sleep. This is called as 1 minute sleep. So if you are sleeping for less than 6 hours, you should practice Yoga Nidra or non-sleep deep rest for 20 to 30 minutes. It gives you deep relaxation. You can find out with the person who has invited you. We have this Yoga Nidra meditations available. You can practice this. It is equivalent to sleeping for 2 hours. Sleep is the best meditation, right? So you practice these things on a daily basis, every day, deep breathing and 4-7-8 breathing. And whenever you get tired, practice Yoga Nidra. This will help you sleep fantastically. And share your feedback with the person who has invited you tomorrow morning. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful sleep. Back to the host.